Hi, I'm Matt with eTrailer, and today we're going to be talking about the Yakima Roof Rack System with JetStream bars on top of our 2021 Toyota RAV4. It's going to be a great option for you if you're looking for a premium roof rack that's going to really help you get a lot more storage out of your vehicle, especially since we're going to be limited on cargo space anyways. It's going to be great if you have any longer items too, like a kayak. So let's take a closer look at it. Today we're going to have raised rails, so what I recommend doing is just checking your vehicle if you do have these same ones. How you can check is just coming over to the top of your car, and if you can fit your hand underneath your rails, then you're on the right track. What I also recommend doing is just plugging in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the best fit for you. Our system today is going to be comprised of two parts. The first part is going to be our 50-inch Yakima JetStream crossbars, and the second one is going to be our Yakima towers too. So looking at the crossbar, this is going to have an arrow shape to it. That's going to help it make it more aerodynamic, helping to reduce wind noise. We're also going to have this T-channel up top with this built-in weather strip. So it's really nice that weather strip's built in so you don't have to cut it down the size. And it's also going to keep any debris from getting in there and also reduce on wind noise. And beneath it, we're going to have our Yakima towers. And what's really nice about these is they're going to have this adjustable strap on it that wraps all the way around, where you can tighten it from the inside. And since we are wrapping all the way around, we're getting a very secure fit. You can also look over here at the very back of it where we have this circle plastic piece. And what that is just a plastic core. You can get that replaced with one of the Yakima metal cores. So if you want extra security and if you want it key to like to any of your other Yakima gear, you can do that. Now we can get a few measurements. The first one I'm going to get is the overall height it adds, and that's going to be a little bit under 3 inches, which isn't too bad. What I recommend doing is just taking the total height of your vehicle plus your roof rack, and then if you have any accessories on here, include that too so you know what areas you can make it under. Then I can get the overhang too, and that's going to be just about 3.5 inches. So you're not going to be likely to bump your head on this, but you're not going to have a lot of room to put on any accessories back here. Now, the back ones, you're going to have a little bit more overhang, and that's going to be just a little bit over 5 inches. So if you are pretty tall and you are really close to it, you might hit your head, but again, it's not going to be very likely. Now, if you do have any smaller accessories back here, you probably will be able to fit them on right here. As far as what you can put up here, you're going to be able to put on clamp-on accessories and T-channel accessories too. You're also going to have a weight capacity of up to 165 pounds, but what I recommend doing is just checking what your roof is rated for and then going from the lowest rated component. Overall, I think this is going to be a great option for you if you do want to get a lot more storage out of the RAV4. And it's also going to be great too if you want to get this key to like with any of your other Yakima gear. Now, if you find yourself not really needing that T-channel up top and you're just using clamp-on accessories, I recommend getting the Yakima system only with the core bars instead of the JetStream bars. But if you want that ability to transition to the T-channel accessories in the future, then I'd say this is going to be one of the best bets for you. As for the installation, it's pretty straightforward, but if you need a hand with it, we'll walk you through it. To start off the installation, we're just going to lay everything out. So up front, we're going to have our crossbars, and next to that, we're going to have the towers to go with them, and then the end caps too. And then you also have the adapters and the metal blocks to put in your towers so you can connect them to your crossbar. And then you're going to have this included Allen key with this built-in torque device. And finally, I recommend just grabbing a tape measure to make things a lot easier. We're going to start off with the towers. What I like to do is put this plastic adapter in here until it clicks into place. After that, I like to flip it over and just push this strap through and get this bolt out of the way of this bolt that's in here. Now, if this one's too long, just loosen it up and it'll get right out of your way. Grab your Allen key and line it up with the bolt that's in there. And then you can adjust how this bolt sits and line this block up with it. Once it's lined up, then you can start tightening this down. I only like to do it slightly, just enough for it to grab onto there, because we're going to want this still loose, so we can put it on our crossbars. Then I like to move over to my crossbar, flip that over, and remove this end cap just by sliding it off. And with it removed, we can put on both of our towers. The first one is going to go in this orientation, lining that metal block up with the channel underneath here. And we're going to slide it all the way to the other side. And the next one's going to go in the opposite direction, just like this, with that bolt facing out. Putting it on in the same way. And with them both on, I'm just going to put my end cap back in place and move over to the tower. Then I'm going to come back to that bolt that's in there. I'm going to tighten it down the rest of the way. And the way you'll know it's tightened completely down is when you hear the clicking on your torque device. We're going to want to do this on both sides. We're going to put this on top of our roof, making sure this is in the right orientation. We want to make sure that this thicker side is facing forward and the thinner side behind us. And when you place it up here, you just want to get a rough estimate of where you want it to sit and get those straps around your raised rails, and then we can further adjust it from here. You'll probably notice that we already have our front crossbar on here. It's going to be the same process and start on the rear one though too. And what we want to do from this point is get our crossbar spread. And right now we're trying to get one of the furthest crossbar spreads that we can. And that's going to be just about a little bit over 29 inches. So what I recommend doing is finding what's going to be the best for you and then repeating that same process on both sides, making sure everything's even. We're going to move over to the overhang now. And so what I like to do for this is go from our tower to the end of the crossbar. And after, when you get that measurement, just check the other side to make sure everything's even. And if it's off just by a little bit, you can come back through and just adjust your crossbar by holding your tower and pushing or pulling on that crossbar. When it's sitting the way you want it to, then you can come back to this bolt up top and tighten this down the rest of the way until your built-in torque device clicks. After when that's been tightened, we're going to move below it to this other bolt. But before we tighten that up, we're going to make this connection underneath with that strap. Line up this metal bar with these two metal hooks. Sometimes if it's extra loose, then it might come undone. So what you'll have to do is hold it in place as you tighten this down. Something else I also recommend when you're tightening this down, you just go back and forth so you don't tighten one side up too much than the other. And this will let you know once it's tight enough, when this starts to click. Just like that. At this point, I just recommend giving it a good shake test, making sure everything fits well. And if it does, you can put on your end caps, and then load it up with whatever accessories you have, and hit the road. If you liked everything you saw today, that's just a look at the installation and some of the features of the Yakima Roof Rack System with the JetStream bars on top of our 2021 Toyota RAV4.